for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people when this classic Bible teaches. Hey, 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 hey. Motivation.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
That spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
There's a shot. To right.
It might be. It could be.
Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our
What's up? It is the 8th of December. We almost up on 2022. I hope y'all had a good 2021. The fact that you have gotten this far, despite anything that you might have, any obstacles that you might have had, meant you're doing pretty good, because everybody ain't make it to this part. What's up, Kenny Canyon? my Panther partner. Come on to the right page. Come on to my show page, Random Thoughts with DVP. That's one of my future guests. I'm gonna have him and his wife on here, and we're gonna talk about next year, because I'm gonna let y'all finish out this year on the easy schedule. But next year we're gonna get into some deep couple stuff, because you know, as Ken is watching over there, one of the things I'm really proud of and jealous in a good way is, man, I know these dudes I went to school with, I grew up with, they've been married 20, 30 years. Man, that's hella impressive. Because if you would have told me that coming from where we came from, that would have even been a realistic possibility, I would have just laughed and said, yeah, whatever. But I actually I actually know people. I actually know them who have been married successfully for 15, 20, 30 years. And that's amazing. And when you consider, I graduated in 1983. 1983. So that means what? 83, 93. I've been out of school a little over 30 years, something like that, almost 40 years. These brothers got married not too soon after graduation. And that's just, man, that's Black love at its finest. And it shows that we can do what we want to, and we got to persevere. See, marriage is kind of like life. It's a game that we play, and we always trying to win. So, because I ain't had this 30-year experience, and I told Kenny, I'm married this time, I'm trying to get 20 years in so I can get my watch. I'm gonna have him and his wife on the show, and we're gonna get them scenarios, and I'm gonna let you hear how successful couples navigate through things. I'm gonna throw a couple of curveballs at them, because what I need for us to stop doing is what we do all the time. Quit wishing for a microwave lifestyle or a love style. You're gonna have obstacles just like you do in life. You gotta move past them. You can't let them slow you down. Well, you can't let them stop you. They can slow you down. It's a little bump in the road, but you gotta stick together. And what up, cuz? What up, fam? I go John Watson from a sheriff's department family. And I can honestly say, I'm 56 this year. In my adult lifehood, I have met some really, really great brothers. Now, it's going to take me into one of my topics. I know a lot of great brothers. I do. I know a lot of great sisters. And one of the things that I'm learning in this whole process is that just because somebody is great doesn't mean they may be great for you. I know great brothers and great sisters who might not mesh well together, even though both of them are great independently. Everything that's great ain't great for you. We all got different preferences and priorities. And this is one of the things that me and my producer Roy, we talk about often. He's somewhere lurking in the background, because these are the things that actually define who we are and what we want. And sometimes we can see something that looks fantastic. We can read the paper, they look fantastic. Everything is matching up. But when you put them together, for some reason, the chemistry ain't there. It don't take away from neither one of them greatness. It just means they might not be a good match for each other. And, I had a pastor one time, I did, and the pastor said something to me, and I caught it out. And y'all know I ain't deep into religion, but when people say good shit, they say good shit. And he said, every woman is Mrs. Right. You just got to find your Miss Right. And that stuck with me, because in my time, I've dated some great women, some awesome women. They were not for me. Didn't take away from their greatness. Didn't take away from nothing. What's going on, Catlin? And when I see men and women going at it, talking about what somebody, they don't want a good man, they can't handle this, they can't handle that, just maybe they ain't for you. Go on and find yours. And I'm looking at this battle of the sexes that's constantly going on, and I'm confused by it. I got somebody now I'm going up with it about men bashing women all the time. And he said, well, why you always blame the men? Because women don't ask for submissiveness. Women don't ask for us to follow them. Women don't ask that we bow down to them. So when was the last time y'all saw a successful leader bashing his workers and getting any production out of them? How many times did you see Obama bashing Michelle? And I'm just trying to figure out, where did this bashing come from? So yes, I come down much harder on brothers, because we're the ones who claim we want to be the leaders. We're the ones who whenever I see it, and I ain't saying this is all of y'all, hit dogs holler, but y'all see the same social media crap I see. We the only ones claiming that we want women to follow us, we want them to submit, we want them to be all these crazy things. And when we ain't doing them, when they complain that we ain't stepping up, then we claim they bashing. Well, sometimes, whether we like to accept the reality of it or not, sometimes we dating out our league. You know, those of us in the military, you know, the crazy thing that we always like to say is, you know, that's above my pay grade. That's above my pay grade when you're supposed to do certain things. If your pay can't sustain where you want to be, then it's above your pay grade. Oh man, I just need one big break. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But women in general, throughout history, have wanted to feel safe and secure. You got to know this. If you dating a woman who is struggling and you're struggling, and ain't nothing wrong with struggle love, because we can come up together. But some women done been through too many struggles and they tired of it. Just like some fellas, we done had relationships where we'd have held on a little bit long, we might have got to the pot of gold. But it got all for us. We don't want to do that no more. We don't want to go through that same set of circumstances, even though the next woman might be the right one. But if she start off like the other ones, we prejudging her based on our past experience. What's going on, Kalia Shalom? Where you watching from? Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. And that's what we got to look at, because yeah, you know, there is a point when I do take the women's side, because I demand more from men. We want that title of men. We want that title of protector, provider. We want all these titles that make us feel special and safe and secure. But we get mad at a woman when she makes us earn these titles. Well, as much as I hate the phrase real, because real is fine by your birth certificate, grown men don't do that. Grown men come already put together. They looking for somebody else to make their life a little bit smoother, more peaceful. Women, grown ass women, they got what they got together. They looking for the safety and security so they can relax and bask in their femininity, which is what men enjoy. And too often, with all these great brothers that I know, too often it's the shady dudes who look like great brothers who lead them astray, and then they become jaded. We can't get upset by that. And I'm gonna take my married brothers out of this, because Kenny been married for 1,000 years, so he don't know nothing about dating. I've been married a little over a year, so we probably been together 5 or 6. So a lot of my dating is outdated now. But when I was in the dating game, I'm listening and I'm watching dudes hate on me because I do have my stuff together. I just was emotional unavailable. And I stressed the point of I knew who I was and what I was. And I stressed that up front to women so they had a choice to make. And there are very few women that I dealt with during my singlehood who, when I told them where I honestly was, that this is who I was and this is what I was, they stayed for that ride. They didn't get upset with me because I didn't lead them astray. See, and this is where when we get to the point about honest communication and what we're going to bash each other for. You could poll most of the women in my past, and they'll tell you that I told them where I was mentally, emotionally, before we got started. If I thought we were good for a relationship, I would express that to them. So again, they have a choice. Maybe they don't want to be in a relationship. Maybe they're emotionally unavailable, and maybe they just want to chill and have fun, which to me is what being single is all about. I believe both sexes should date as many as they can and let the cream rise to the top. I ain't gonna tell nobody that's what you gotta do. I said that's what I believe. And this is where the conflict comes in. When a man does it, it's perceived to be okay. When a woman does it, men start shaming. Women who haven't done it started shaming. And it's crazy because you missed out on a good portion of your life. You missed out on the fun stuff. Now you want to call people names, which is what we do when we don't understand the experience. Because I'm learning that dating is a pseudonym for sex for a lot of people. Just because you date somebody don't mean you have to have sex. Dating means you're just going out enjoying their company. You're having fun. Whatever happens, happens. See, when you go to the grocery store with a list, you get more stuff that you need versus what you want. When you go to a grocery store without a list, most of us end up buying shit that we already got or didn't need because we didn't have a list. We going off memory. We already know our memory suck. So when we get to this whole male bashing thing, male female bashing, yeah, I'm more on the side of women because the guy said, oh, women are always trying to tell us what we need to do. Well, they giving you a clue as to how to win them over. In the big picture, men are the prize. Keep in mind, but in this big picture, we want the company of a woman. See, women don't have no problem catching a dude. We know this. This is why we try a little bit harder. This is why we do this. This is why we do that. This is why in the animal kingdom, you see men fight, show off. They got the bigger stuff because they're trying to get the attention of that woman. And this is where we got to pay more attention. Deborah, you're on the wrong page. Come on over to Random Thoughts. Wesley, come on over to Random Thoughts with DVP. And this is where we got to start focusing. Gentlemen, stop bashing women for having preferences and priorities. Listen, I'm 5'11" and 3/4. If my wife told me she wanted a guy who was 6'2", I'm not going to try to tell her what she's missing out on because that's what she wants. See, and this is what we don't get a lot of times. When we talk somebody into selling for less than they want, their preferences or priorities, when something go wrong, they bring that up again because we told them they should settle for less than they originally wanted. See, I don't have that kind of time. If I know ain't your cup of tea, we can just keep moving. We can be cool and have fun and have conversation, but we don't have to be together. And this life is just that simple. Khalil, you still with me? And this is where we got to learn to move on without bashing or trying to degrade somebody for having choices. That makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever, but it's what we like to do. Like we're going to shame somebody into dating us. Who does that? Who does that? Most of us still want some kind of attraction. Why would I give up attraction? Because on paper, she looks like this. W just bouncing. Random Thoughts with DVP. Quit playing, W. Right. Women give clues. Hell, some of them just give you, some of them, and it's against what I tell you, they will give you a whole map to get to them. And this is where I blame them. See, it ain't like I never blame women, but men are supposed to be the torchbearers. Men are the ones who claim we want to do all this. For you to have a successful relationship, fellas, because women will give you clues, but sometimes we can't read. Women are from Mars, men are from Venus. Pay attention to your woman. Pay attention to the woman that you're pursuing. Maybe, just maybe, the woman you're pursuing. You don't want a relationship with her. You want an entanglement with her, and that's okay. Women like entanglements too. They do, trust me. Just be honest. And if all y'all got is entanglement potential, let that be that. But don't sit there and try to force something and then everybody got a bad taste in their mouth. Men ain't shit, women ain't shit, yada, yada, yada. Just go with what you go with. If Khalil's here with me now, I'm gonna call her name. I ain't never met her before, but let's just say me and Khalil, we think we wanna date. She got her list, whether she wrote it down in her head, but let's just say when we meet, I smoke. Khalil don't like smokers. I ain't gonna give up smoking. Khalil can waste her trying to tell me I should stop smoking if I want to get with her, or she could just accept the fact that I'm a smoker, and she could move on. Do I, Khalil? I can't see your picture that good. Where I know you from? Or she could change her personal priorities, but her deliberately trying to change me is a bad thing. I can't even see your picture. Tell me where I know you from, Khalil. And the name sounds so familiar now. But this is how we do things backwardly, and then we get into the whole name calling thing. Oh, women pass on good men all the time. What make you say that? See, and I hate that phrase. One, I hate it because I ain't never dated a man, so I don't know what they passing on. And because me and Kenny get along, because me and Catlin get along, because me and Roy get along. Oh, what's up? Why your name ain't Prayer? That don't mean that in a dating process that they gonna get along with somebody else. It just means our relationship they cool as a fan. Khalil married to my boy Prayer. So we do this, and name calling always seems to be the first result. When sometimes you just gotta accept that as a clue that this ain't the person for you to get serious with. Have your little entanglement, have your situationship, and keep it moving. But don't think because they don't want you, oh, they don't want a real man, they can't handle this. Or ladies like, oh, he can't handle a real woman. I'm too much for him. You're a little full of yourself, ain't you? You're a little full of yourself. I'm gonna do the little test again about the $4,000, because Khalil, oh, I forgot how old you are, but ladies and gentlemen, how many of y'all are actually with the person that you dated, had a situation or whatever, that made the most? Are y'all married, or y'all currently with the person who made the most money out of all the people you ever dated? Because men are insecure about that. They think money will get you. And fellas, this is what y'all got to understand the whole process. If you think your woman's going to leave you because the man got more money, then clearly you with the wrong woman. If you think your woman going to leave you because the man got a better sex game, then clearly you with the wrong woman. Because she don't value what you bring to the table. What's going on, Spice Girl? So this is where we have to start making up our minds on what it is we value in a relationship and how much value we put into the partner that we pick. Because fellas, you chasing these women. What's going on, Akila? Come on to the right page. Random Thoughts with DVP, you know better. We chasing these women, but they ain't what we want, or we ain't in their league. And when we realize that, we want a name call, as opposed to just do it like second, third grade. Pass the class and keep on moving. and that's what you got to do, and it's okay. But yeah, when it comes to it, yeah, men, they bash way more than women do. Women try to tell us what we're doing wrong and how to step up our game. Women will tell us constantly that a man can consistently talk himself out of sex because he's talking too much. Fellas will very rarely let a woman talk them out of sex. Because when we in that mood, anything short of I'm gonna kill your mama, we gonna still try to get it. But we don't get that. We don't get that dynamic. So they trying to give us hints. They trying to give us clues. Shut up sometimes. Shut up sometimes and enjoy the ambiance of it. What's going on, Sewell? And we don't get that. And then when they don't want to be with us no more, because we good catches according to us. What's going on, Ari? We good catches according to us. Another one of my little pet peeves. all these self-proclaimed this is and that. What are you basing that on? You know your worth. Yeah, I got it. You know you're a good person. Yeah, I got it. But unless you are choosing yourself, then you really not the best authority. You know what you bring to the table. What's going on, Shauna? Come on over to Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm gonna need y'all to come to the right page. Give me some support. You can't say what you are worth to somebody else. You know, I was talking to Deborah. I was talking to Dr. Deb the other day, and I told you, whenever I would meet women, they always want to tell me the first thing they want to tell me of value. Oh, is I can cook and I clean. And I'm like, the fuck does that mean? I don't eat a lot and I'm not that messy. So your two greatest attributes are totally unattractive to me. That's what you bring to the table? Like I'm a slob or something? Who cares? When you're dealing with a woman who has her own, me saying I got money, what I can afford, don't mean a whole lot to them. They are going to look and see what it is I'm doing. And let me slow my roll because I'm getting too far ahead of myself. In the beginning, when we start this whole hanging out process, let's call that part, it is what it is. Roy, you still with me or have you ventured off? Because I need Roy on here with me right quick, if you're still around.
Say that again, D.
I need you to come on screen with me right quick if you got a few minutes. All right. So in the beginning of this whole getting to know you process, and this is where Roy had to correct me because I put him in a category. Roy wants to be married. What's going on, Paula? And I ain't never knocked that. It was never my vision because I believe in dating, letting the process play itself out. And Roy had to correct me on some of my thought process about what he was saying, because I don't trust people who date to marry in general, because I believe that they're missing the process. Notice what I said. I believe. See, I can't make none of this be fact because I don't do it. And this is where we make a lot of mistakes. We ignorantly try to judge what other people doing, even though we've never done it. Roy will date. Roy just wants his date to lead to something. I just want my dates to lead to me going home at the end of the night. And if we have fun, that's fine. We can keep graduating. We can keep graduating. I will date a woman who I don't think has marriage potential because I was never looking to be married. So it was easy for me. Roy wants to be married. So, and that's why I want him on here so he can explain his a little bit better, because I don't want to say it wrong. Roy, will you date a woman who does not have marriage potential?
You said, would I?
Will you? Yeah.
If we go out and we really enjoy each other's company, yes. But I will let them.
No, sir. Before we even get to the going out stage, will you date a woman when you first meet if you don't think she got marriage potential? But this before y'all go out, this is like 3 or 4 phone calls. You think she cool, you think she fly, but she just ain't doing it for you, my guy.
Okay.
Did y'all notice my rap skills right then?
You know, to be honest, I probably would.
Would you let her know up front that she ain't bringing it?
Yeah, we'll put it this way: if she had that kind of interest, I would definitely say something before that. Like if there was something that when we on the phone and we're talking and we just don't have that, it's just, it's one of the few deal breakers that I have. I would be like, like if she want to still have some more babies, I'd be like, sweetheart, that ain't happening here. We may be able to hang out, we can be cool or whatnot, but nah, yeah.
Well, y'all ain't got that far yet to the baby. I'm just talking about how you feel about her. You already, like, I've dated women, and like I say, in my head, I wasn't prepared to be married, so I knew they weren't marriage material. I knew this.
Well, see, D, that's okay. So here's the thing, though. That's not them not being marriage material. That's just you not wanting to be married. That's when you were living your Sith life. I can't deal with that. I haven't had that part of possession.
And see, and this is why I will debate that, because I never wanted to be married, because I didn't want to be married when I met Trina. Trina brought out the marriage in me.
Well,
And see,
one of the things that I always tell women, this is, and I think we've had this discussion on the show, that you don't have to worry, when they go through the whole process about, oh, how long should you date somebody and all this. I said, listen, a man will alter his life for a woman that he wants to be with, and for a woman that he wants to spend legit quality time with. Like, he will add you into his everyday if he believes that it's something that's going to be able to be fruitful. If you just give him that type of vibe, the energy with him being around you. I mean, like, there have been some people who I've been involved with that just the energy of being around them makes me feel better.
Right.
I mean, just that, and it's just like, so whenever I can take that time and get into that spaces, but my schedule, especially with my schedule being what it is, hell, I'll ask them to ride on long trips with me and do stuff like that just because I enjoy being in their space. And so, I don't have that too often. But no, I don't, I will go out on a date with somebody who for whatever reason, we're not marriage material if we enjoy each other. I mean, there's always that opportunity, because I mean, we just said at this point now, and that's one of the things I think, I don't know if I actually technically have said it to you yet. I think that's one of the things that over the last year or so, with you being back and we having more discussions and stuff, that I think my view has changed somewhat from what it used to be. Because you know me before, it was like, yeah, if it ain't gonna be marriage with you, let's cut it loose. And that's how I was before. So I'm not there anymore. I will go out with somebody who I just enjoy being in their space with them.
Right. Whereas with me, I was never there, but I could progress to being there if I saw a future with you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of what I did was listen to what the woman said. Roy brought up a great example. I met two women who I thought were really great. They wanted to have babies. This is not happening here. Go for it, send them more after you have a baby, come back. If I'm still single, maybe we can see what it's like 2 years later, because I like women with kids. So I ain't never had a problem with that. But if you want a baby, I know this is not happening here. But I don't think I could ever love somebody enough to want to withhold that from them, because it's not happening. So like I said, they were great women, but I couldn't give them what they ultimately wanted. So to me, let me stop wasting your time. As good as things may be going, what you want at the end of the day, I can't give you. And one was like, well, it's really not that important. But yeah, it was, because it was important up until you knew I couldn't. So I can't put myself in that situation. On the flip side, and I tell the story all the time, I met women who I would never date a man who lived with his mama. I lived with my mom for 3 years. Oh, well, your situation was different. Nope. What you said is you want to date a man who lived with his mom. So let me remove yourself, because I'm not moving out because of you. This is a cost-effective thing for me, and I don't care about none of y'all when it comes to my finances. My mama loved it. I helped her save some money. I loved it. I helped me save some money. So, because I had a plan, and my plan didn't include me flexing and flossing and having my own place just to have sex. I was only around for 10 or 15 days. Or why am I renting a place for 30 days when I can pay my mama half of what it would cost me to rent, which means she's saving a lot of money. This is my mama. So I got somebody who will wash my clothes when I'm out of town. I got somebody who will feed me whenever I come home, and she'll let me sleep. If I was dating somebody and we just need to get into some entanglement, I could afford a hotel room, what I was saving. And women was like, oh, see, no, you would have been different. What would have been different? At the end of the day, your number one criteria for not dating a man was somebody who lived with his mom. But she wasn't taking care of you. I said, but you didn't put that in there. You just said you don't want to date a man who lived with his mom. See, when you put up certain barriers, you limit your own prospects. And that's why I say, it's true that when you're getting to know each other, and I've always been as upfront as I can about this, let it be what it truly is, with the exception of Roy, who got white light tendencies. But Roy will know he will backslide.
It is not backsliding. There is absolutely nothing wrong with handling adult activities with someone of the opposite sex, my brother. That is natural. As long as you upfront and honest about what the hell is going on.
What's up, Denise? Right. But, you know, I was never opposed to a one night stand. Whatever, you know, we're adults. We do what we do. Roy, to his credit, Roy wanted more than that, which is fine. But like I said, and you know, this is what I tell people. When I hate when people say what grown men won't do, what real grown men, real men, all men, when they're single, they will all take a step backwards if all you want to do is, all of them ain't trying to go straight to church with you and get married. Opportunity, ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. If you give them the ability and give them the opportunity, they're gonna put you in jeopardy. Yeah, it just is what it is. It don't mean nothing one way or the other. It's adult activity. Sometimes it's good for everybody. It's good for everybody. But we keep talking about what we don't do. Me and Roy can both give you a description of a woman that we want. There are going to be some similarities. There are going to be some things that are extremely different. But what me and Roy can't do, and this is what I hate from both sexes, when people start talking about what men want and what women want, Roy can tell you what won't work for him. See, I know men who like women that smoke. Guess who don't like women that smoke? But I ain't finna sit here and say, ain't no man going to deal with a woman who smoke. And I hate when I see people do that. Just say you won't do it. And men, I'm sorry, dudes love to do that. Ain't no man gonna put up with a woman who got all that mouth. Some dudes love drama. I've seen dudes and I know they love women who bring that drama. So yes, they will. Just say
they
you
feed
won't.
off of it.
Just say you won't.
D, just say it like it is. There's somebody out there for everybody. Somebody like what somebody's doing. I mean, that's just what it is. That's the reality of it.
And the thing is, I'm gonna take it a step further. Not only is there somebody for everybody, I believe there are multiple somebodies for everybody. Multiple. I don't think we got one soulmate. I think we got 30, 40, 50 soulmates. It just depends on where you are and who you are. Yes, sir.
That's one of the things that has always been the craziest thing I've ever heard, that people want to feel like that, oh, it is 7 billion people on this damn planet. And you mean to tell me that it ain't but one person is your actual soulmate? That has to be the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Because look, we're duplicating faces. People are out there already talking about, man, I know a dude that look just like you.
Just like, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, to think that we only have one soulmate is ignorant. To think, I had a conversation this past weekend with somebody. And it's something that we talked about before. It was because we ended up having a discussion on one of the shows when we talked about the whole polygamy thing and stuff. And I had to tell them, I had to step back and think about it when somebody asked me that question, and they put some particular caveats on it, which could have been realistic about would I be willing to date 2 women. And that was one of the things I say, I love too hard to do something and blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about the last 2 women who I had been in relationships with. And it was the fact that both of them needed something completely different from me. So it would have been no kind of a strain for me to date both of those women and give them both what they needed. And, and it's like, I had to think about that. I'm like, it's like we get into the whole deal breakers and stuff. You grow up, you mature.
Right. Experiences bring about change. And we say all the time, who I am at 56 is not who I was at 40. It's not who I was at 50 or even 30. Different circumstances have taught me things that I once thought I held hard and fast are laughable. They are laughable. But you grow. Yeah. Experiences teaches you certain things. And that's why I hate, and yeah, I do pick on guys way more because they got all these norms that they want from a woman, but they don't want to give nothing. Take me as I am. Well, at the end of the day, if we're being honest, nobody is taken as they are. Nobody. Because as Roy said, we will mold ourselves to make ourselves a little bit more attractive to the woman. Guess what? She'll do the same thing. There's a meeting point. There's a meeting point that we all come to. And people say, oh, you settle. Yeah, because that's what it is. We all settle for something. Because ain't nobody going to be 100%. Roy ain't met the woman that was 100% right for him. DVP ain't met the woman who was 100% right. Trina Maria has not met the guy who was 100% right for her. because there's no such animal. So we all settle because there's some things that we want that we might not get. And whether you do 80, 20, 70, 30, whatever it is, there's some things that they ain't coming with the equation. Now, as Rob was talking about, when you start doing the poly or the multiple thing, what I don't bring, somebody else can bring. Yeah, and there's a great logical reason for a lot of that. You have to decide where you are with that process, and it takes a lot of maturity and a lot of self-talking, and you got to know who you are, what you don't do and don't bring to the table. But it's crazy. We love to talk on this village, but we want to be the first ones to burn the village down. That's insane, because every time we start speaking about a village and everybody want to chime in, but then next thing you know, everybody want to be off to themselves. Well, you can't have a village as everybody's off to themselves. Villages, they pretty much share everything to make sure that the village survives.
Yep.
And that's a developed mentality, because it's a hard concept for us to accept as we're young and we don't understand what villages mean.
Well, we've been programmed differently. That's what the problem is. We've been programmed out of that mentality.
And we're sexist because women accept it far quicker than men do. I was talking to some guys about, the whole men are more logical than women. And I had to sit down and like, you really can't mean it. It sounds cute. We say that as a defense mechanism. He's like, nah. See, women cry. That's the only emotion that they got over us 90% of the time. I say, but a woman will stay in a bad relationship for her kids. If a man cheats, and this is my favorite one, if a man cheats, women have been known to stay throughout time. But most men can't handle it if their woman cheat. Why? What's the difference? And one of my basic scenarios is, and this one works perfectly with my producer, Roy. Roy, I'm gonna ask you a personal question, bro. You got your seatbelt on?
Oh damn!
You got your seatbelt on, and
what you got, man?
Cinnamon, Akila, all y'all. Go ahead, feel free to answer. Ari, the first time that you had sex with your last two partners, because I want y'all to have actually three. For those y'all that done had three, no matter how long ago it was, were you in love the first time y'all had sex?
The last three?
Yeah. Because I want you to be able to break the tie. See, if I give you two, then you can say yeah one and no one. I want you to be able to break the tie. Not yes. Did you fall in love? Were you in love the first time you had sex?
Yes, one. And two of them, no.
Okay, so no is his answer. And most of us weren't in love the first time we had sex. So why do we think that if our partner cheats, it's got anything to do with love? Love has nothing to do with sex for most people the first time. Has absolutely nothing. It's a carnal urge. It can be a lot of other things, but love is very rarely the cause of it. But guess who gets emotional about people cheating? Men do. We can't handle the whole thought process. We want to break shit. We want to tear shit up. We want to set shit on fire. We want to throw shit out the window. That's not logical. That's emotional, fellas. That's emotion. I did club security for almost 20 years. I ain't ran but crossed with one who willing to fight because somebody stepped on their shoes that's on the dirty floor. That's not logical. That's emotional. I ain't met but one sex who willing to fight because they feel disrespected. So let's just say Roy think I'm disrespecting him. Roy beat my ass. He going to jail and I still have no respect for him. So what did he gain? Nothing. He was on the emotional tip. You can't beat respect into nobody. You can whoop my ass all day long. You can't make me. But why are we fighting? Because I don't respect you. The fight can't make me respect you. It just improves your win-loss record. And when I get these innocent guys, they be like, "Oh, it's different." How is it different? Go ahead.
I'll say you want to know what the issue is that men have not been trained, we have not been taught, we have not been cultivated to deal with our emotions. That's why we function on everything so physical, because it's always been physical with us.
Right, but we don't want to accept that that's emotion because we want to be better.
No, I agree with you.
And, if we learn how to deal with it better, the first step to getting better is accepting it. You know, I was talking to a Marine who tried to explain to me, and then he gave me a story, and he said, damn. He said, I just helped your story. I said, yeah. He was like, yeah. He said, man, you know, he said, yeah, my dad used to whoop my mama's ass. And I was like, why? And he was like, you know, my mama said something when I got old. And I was like, what she said? She's like, the only reason she stayed is because he provided the kids a safe place. See, that was logic. She took an ass whooping so her kids could be safe. There was no emotion involved in her decision. It was logical because she didn't want to be out on the street. That's what women do. Their lives don't always make sense, but a lot of women do crazy things for their kids, and we know this to be true. But a man will walk out because his emotions are high strung. We'll go out and drink and drive. That's not logical. We'll go out and go bankrupt. That's not logical. We'll start shooting people. That's not logical. All these are emotions. And it's so easy to see that we're the more emotional crew. And if you can't accept that, you'll never fix it. See, women just don't mind crying. And we all know, men and women both. Roy has cried at times when he was too upset about something, not because he was feeling down or depressed, but people can anger you to the point of tears when you want to say something. Every now and then we got tears of joy, but tears don't automatically mean, because I mean, and it still is an emotional moment, but you're just not sad. But we done sat there and clenched our teeth and cried just because out of frustration. We'll accept that one. We'll accept that one. But we'll still call something, oh, he made me so mad. Oh, you know, mad is an emotion, right? So if you were mad, you were having an emotional moment, and guys fight it so hard. You fight it so hard. Fellas, we got to stop. We got to stop because they got the advantage on us. So there's a reason why they do certain things, why we do certain things, and we keep going in this circle, because we won't accept reality. And when they tell us the reality, we want to fight them because we're emotional. And all we got to do is look back and think about it. When you make a response, is your response logical or emotion? Because if it's logical, it makes sense and it keeps you out of jail. And it keep your good shit going. See, Roy's a businessman. DVP is a businessman. And I've said this before. Roy said on his show, Roy runs my JBN, unapologetically black. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
But if the Proud Boys offer Roy enough money, he gonna run an ad for him. This is a business. Now, would he do a show with him? He probably won't, because they probably gonna do some anti-black stuff. And at some point, you have to start cutting your losses. I've had clients I've done security for that I would never invite to dinner, go to eat dinner with them, but my job is not to like them. My job is to get them from point A to point B safely. And as long as they ain't doing nothing illegal, guess what? I will take their money. Because you know what? Georgia Power don't care how I got paid. My mortgage company don't care where the money comes from. They never ask me, are you happy with the money you made? Did you earn it in a way that pleased your senses? That's not my job. It's not Roy's job. Roy's job, you know, if somebody want to run a commercial, as long as it ain't offensive to Roy's belief, Roy gonna sit there and be like, how much you say you paying again? This will pay 2 bills. He gonna wait 2 weeks to see if somebody gonna give him a better offer, and if they don't, Roy gotta get them bills paid. That's business. That's logic. Because, oh, I would never do this. I would never do that. Why? Why? Because you too good, or because you, what is it? And you know, this little exchange, it takes us to a real dilemma. And I'm gonna go back to where I started with the whole dating process. Is I'm sure Roy has seen lots of women who piqued his curiosity / loins. Because when you first meet somebody, when you first see them, you can't sit there and say, oh, I ain't never heard this. And Roy can correct me. I ain't never heard anybody say, damn, she looks smart. Damn, she full of great conversation. I bet I could talk for hours with that chick. I ain't never heard no dude say no shit like that. Because what we see is the packaging they give us. What they see is the packaging we give them. I know lots of honest women. Roy knows some. When I worked at a club and they walk up to me, they get their hug and they sniff me. And they tell me how good I smell, how much they like my hug. They don't ask me what book I read, what's my IQ, what's my credit score, what's my religion. They don't ask me none of that. None of that is what appealed to them. See, that worked both ways. You know, when a woman smile at Roy, his white lighter self don't be like, you know, have you read any good books lately? Because nobody gives a shit. Now, when you get past that initial phase, the orientation phase, that's when you start looking for deeper stuff. That's when you start making, but see, and that's what I say, let's do this in promotional phases. Let's call everybody what they are when they start off. They cut butters, potential friends with benefits. You know, they get promoted to friends with benefits. So you like hanging out with them. You don't mind doing stuff with them, but you ain't let them come over to the house yet. You ain't gave them a key. They ain't gave you a key, but y'all just enjoying each other's company. Then y'all progress. Then y'all have, as me and Roy like to say, then somewhere along the way, you get to the conversation. Because without this conversation, you're not in a real relationship. You're in a something-ship. You just figuring out what name to call it. And we like to call it a relationship because it's easy. But you really ain't in a relationship till you had a conversation. And the conversation will tell you what kind of relationship you are in exactly. You know who I think is scared to have this conversation? Us. Because see, I want to sit there and play the game and tell you how cute you are and what I think we could be. You know what I'm saying? I think we ought to be something serious. Because I'm gonna use sin. Because I don't want sin to mess with Roy. So I'm going to try to lock sin down. But I want sin to understand that I want to see Ari too. But sin, I don't want you to see nobody else. Because, you know, me and we have to sow our wild oats. You know, we got to go out there and do what the Bible say, reap, sow, multiply, whatever math the Bible got that I don't go for. But as soon as sin want to do the same thing, oh, now I'm having a hissy fit. Now she a slut. Now she this, now she that. Because I want to shame her into it because I'm having an emotional breakdown. Well, if I'm out with Ari, that means I ain't tending to sin. So why sin can't get some attention somewhere else?
Okay, hold up. So I've been waiting for this to come back up. Cinnamon, you need to tell me what's not the norm. She said something. She commented on the post saying, but that's not the norm. So I'm trying to figure out what she was talking about. I was waiting for it to come back around. I didn't see it all. So yeah, I need to know what you're talking about.
And shoot, I don't even see that.
Right, it's not on the thing. So she must. I'm thinking that she may have deleted it, but you know, see, that's the beauty of the little system that we use. Once you put that on there, I done seen it. It's there now.
Okay. But yeah, guys get so caught up into this selfish mentality, and we can't accept the fact that most of us are selfish. And to a great extent, again, I'm gonna pick on Roy, cause he's my boy. Roy doing his thing with my JBN, which takes up a lot of his time, yes? So as much as you want to give a woman all the time you can, realistically, how much time can you give a woman in a week?
Well,
let me rephrase that. How much quality time can you give her?
But see, even that's the question. The thing is when will she be willing to take that quality time? That's okay. That's the question. And so let me tell you why. I'm gonna explain.
Oh, and I know why. That's why I'm finna throw another caveat in there. She worked 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Well, see, if that's the case, we can do plenty of quality time. Because as long as she's good with being out at late and doing stuff, I'm gonna give you an example. When I was living in Tallahassee, there was a young lady who I was dating, but both of us worked during the day, and then she had a business. She had a cleaning business, so she was cleaning offices up until like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So we couldn't even get together until midnight, literally. It just so happened I had a friend who was a manager at Applebee's, so we would go into the Applebee's. They closed at 1, but they let us sit in there for a few hours to sit and talk and do what we want to do, or just go places. You know, we would go places where we could be and it still be people around. So for me, that's like that. That's actually one of the challenges that I have in dealing with people in relationships. You got to be able to get quality time with me outside of your normal parameters.
Okay.
Because like now, it's 6 o'clock. People want to be going out, going all day. Well, I got shows to produce most Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday. at 6 o'clock. So yeah,
right. And so we
that
get
6
there.
to 10 time for me is like next to impossible.
And if that's her only time because she got a child or she got to do this is where we lose out. And if we like her, this is where we got to start considering. Maybe a village is good for us, because what happens is the longer he's away, the more she's going to get to be without him. Now, if we've already, and this, like I said, this ain't for everybody, but if you got people who fill certain roles, life is a whole lot easier. We got jobs that fill certain roles. We got everything that fills certain roles. It's not that hard of a prospect to take into the personal portion of our life, because if she don't like sleeping alone, but you can't do things at night because you work at night, only thing you're doing is giving yourself barriers. So you gotta decide how much do you really want to be with this woman? What are you willing to negotiate with? And this is where we gotta all sit back. And a lot of this comes with age and experience. What's going on, Yolanda? And these are the things that we have to understand. It's cute to say you make time for India, but you know what? Yes, sir.
See, look who done chimed in.
I see that.
Oh, India done chimed in. I'm wondering if she back.
I had to talk about it real bad. And India, I'm gonna tell you why I hate that phrase. You make time for who you want. And it's so bogus, because it's just bogus. You make time for what you have to. And my dad used to say this: you do what you have to so that you can do what you want to. And the best example I can give you is with kids. When somebody got 2 kids and they both got events, which kid do you go see? Because if you use your theory, you make time for you want to, that means you're slighting one child. You got to prioritize. And when it comes to, I had a daughter that played basketball. I missed a lot of her high school games so I could be gone for the weekend when she did AAU out of town. I would work 15, 16 hours a night so I could build up the time to leave. It didn't mean that I didn't want to. I just had to prioritize how I wanted to. And if you got a good paying business or you got a low paying job, let's see, do I want to spend time with her? Do I want to be homeless? See, so when people say you make time for what you want, you make time for priorities. And what's a priority for 90% of us is making money so that we can afford to live a certain lifestyle. Because everybody can do a hobo ship, but then when you're going to be mad, then I'm going to blame you because you wanted all this time from this guy. He can't work, because the only somebody who got time all the time is a non-working dude or a non-working woman. So you can't always make time for what you feel is a priority. You got to prioritize. And ain't no need to make that. Yes, you do. Because Roy, there ain't been times that you want to spend time with your kids, but you had a job fulfillment that you need to do in order that you could do something else in the future. If you want to take them kids on a trip for the summer, you got to get this job, because this job gonna pay for that summer cruise. Now, so say, hey, guess what, kids? We ain't going nowhere this summer because I'm gonna hang out with y'all right now. You prioritize.
See, here's the thing. So, and ironically that you use that as an example, that's why I started working for myself, because I knew growing up, my parents could, like, I specifically remember the 2 events that my parents came to while I was in school doing stuff, because they were working so much. They missed most of my games. They missed most of my track meets. They missed most of my theater performances. And so I didn't want that for my kids. And the first time I was at a job and I said, hey, look, I'm taking off because I need to I'm going to see my thing, going to see a presentation for my kids. And they was like, oh, well, you can't take that time off because we need you here. I walked out, I was like, okay, well, y'all will be all right. But that's why I started working for me. Because for me, the priority, especially during that time when they were younger, like, so when I'm talking about the school time, like now, yeah, I'm gonna prioritize the money over that stuff because they've already got the lifetime of experiences of me being there and all that stuff that they didn't have. And when their friends' parents weren't there. So, I mean, but it goes back to your statement. It's what is more important to you.
Right.
And at that time, it was more important to me to be available to them and all of their activities than it was for me to make a certain amount of money. And that's where my life is now. Like you talk about the choices when you stay with your mom. I'm living a minimalist life because I don't need a lot right now. I'm trying to build my money, go into my company.
And that's the bad side of being having your own business. See, Roy said it. There's some perks to it, but guess what? If your employees don't show up, guess who got to work now? There's nobody to pass it off. That's why, you know, I joke and kid about all these phones I get, and I'm like, shit. One morning, I picked up one phone and called myself on the other phone and call in sick because I didn't want to play no more. When you are that guy, you can't call in sick. When your employer say they can't make it, ain't nothing you can do. You got to get up and go fulfill that because you don't want to lose a contract. And you can work from home if you got a work from home job. When you doing security, I ain't no work from home. Ain't nobody gonna come to your house and sit in your house. And with like I say, when you're planning stuff, if I'm planning vacations for the summer, whatever, see, all that money goes to that. And if they don't want to go nowhere, I ain't gotta do nothing. But guess what? You know, when you got kids who play AAU, that's expensive. Ain't no AAU scholarship. Ain't no AAU scholarships. So we say these things, and again, it's based on your circumstances. Because if you ain't got no kids, you got a whole different avenue of things to look at. When you got kids, when you got visions, when you trying to build something, a long-term legacy. And you know, that's why I just hate the phrase, because you put such a limitation on people. Oh, if you want to be me, you would. Well, you know, I need to pay rent more. So, you know, you take it how you want to. I would love to hang out with you, but the boss said if I don't come in, I ain't getting paid and I ain't gonna have no job. So guess who was a priority? It ain't what I want to do, it's what I have to do. So when my dad made the statement, do what you have to so that you can do what you want to, that held a whole lot more weight with me because I understood the process. There are lots of things that we want to do, but for whatever reason, we can't because it's not logical. See, it's just not logical. Roy can want to spend time with somebody, but if they call and say, hey, Roy, this was going on, well, do you want to have a legacy or do you want to have momentary fun? It ain't always that easy. Because if we flip the same script as Roy was just talking about, when he dating a woman and she worked these hours trying to conduce to his, Roy said, well, why don't you skip work then if you want to hang out with me? Oh, no, because I need to pay bills. Like, we don't need to pay bills. See, that's a double-edged sword, because I don't know too many people that ain't at a time or two been kind of strapped. So guess what you do? Roy said you live a minimalist life, but you grind a little bit harder. And most of us have hit a stretch where we were straight grinding because we knew I need to make $5,000 and I got 6 weeks to do this. I love you, babe, but you know, we're gonna have to, because this is mandatory. So yeah, everybody can't work from home. You know, it ain't like we have pandemics every year. You think them school teachers wouldn't rather be homeschooling their kids? You know how much money is in homeschooling? None. So they go out there and put up with other people bad kids so they can afford some of the other luxury for their kids. So I hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna still stick to what I said. It's a cute phrase, but it's bogus unless you meet somebody who's independently wealthy. Then they can do whatever they want to because they got time. They are one of my friends who's a multi-millionaire. See, he can live with that phrase, but even he'll tell you when he gets certain phone calls, he gonna make everybody wait because he gonna get that phone call because that's the future for him making more millions. He ain't gonna sit there, oh, I'm rich enough, that's okay. We all got boundaries, and I'm gonna stick to what my dad say. You do what you have to so that you can do what you want to.
Well, that's like my quote that I use instead of the whole fake it till you make it, do what you can until you can do what you want to.
Right. You know, so. and I tell people now, I got to retire. I got to retire at 44. Ain't too many people can say that. See, so no matter what happens the rest of my life, I'm gonna get a check. As much as I hated that job sometimes, and as much as I thought about quitting, I saw the end game. They're gonna give me a check. They're gonna take care of my health insurance. Can I put up with this shit for 6 more years? And the answer every time was yes. Sometimes it took me a long time to get to yes, but the answer was always yes. Why would I quit? Somebody offered me a job making more money, but I was gonna have to start over. So I need 6 more years so I can get full retirement with these people, or I can go over here and make all this money, but now I gotta start at zero. Now I gotta work 18 more years to get full retirement. I'm gonna stay here and put up these 6. And you know, because it was logical, pure logic. And you know, and that's one of the things that we have to look at when we start trying to put restrictions on people to try to get them to spend more time with us, because we try to make them feel guilty as opposed to being understanding. See, Roy tell the story about he was supposed to go on a date with somebody, and he had a hardship that came up with his daughter. Now, do you think he didn't want to go on a date with this woman? Clearly he did. Clearly he did. But something, a priority came up to bump what his plan was, because we never plan for emergencies, which knock out that whole you make time for whatever, because we don't ever plan for anything bad. And I know maybe one or two people who ain't never had nothing bad happen to them that set everything back, knocked all their plans. Nobody plans to have a car wreck. Nobody plans to get their car stolen. Nobody plans for their house to catch on fire. Them knock all your plans out the water. So, but I'm saying this to say, we got to stop putting unrealistic expectations on people who aren't good for us. Sometimes they ain't good, and just let them go. Just realize, hey, maybe the best we can do in this is just have a situationship, you know, or as I used to say back in the old days, when I talked about the layaway girlfriends, hey, we good for 90 days. You go your way, I go my way. Because we don't have nothing but chemistry. That we don't have no meeting of the minds. Our loins like each other. And we're going to do the loin thing. What's up, Kirsten? Come on over to Random Thoughts with DVP, because this show you're going to be on soon. And this is where we got to understand it. I've seen lots of women who I was loinly attracted to. After a couple of conversations, I knew that's all it could ever be. Loins, nothing else, because they're talking just, but they look good. On paper, they might have looked good, but there was nothing between us. And we got to stop trying to shame people. And I see men do it more than women. But I see women still talk about they know their worth and what they ain't settling for. And I just be like, you know, I got a thing I'm gonna post on my random humor where a girl says I'm far from ugly and GPS said you have arrived at your destination, because you ain't that far shot. I don't know who told you that. I ain't talking about none of y'all. But I'm just saying, people will say things about themselves. These self-proclamations are cute, but they're unrealistic, because you are what the market says you are. And if ain't nobody shopping in your store, then that high value you got in yourself, you're going to find yourself on the clearance mark. Oh, I'll just be by myself. Well, you was by yourself anyway. So don't act like being by yourself is something that you chose. You put too high value on yourself. You know, everybody claim they worth $1 million, $1 billion, or whatever, but that ain't what your bank account say. That ain't what your bank account say. Oh, I'm priceless. It's cute. It's cute, but unrealistic. That's your emotion talking. We all got a value. And depending on what you bring to the table, that would depend on who values what you bring to the table. You know, some women will love an entrepreneur. So that's what they're looking for. They want a man who got drive, who building his own. Other women want a man who got something already. And you can't sit there and make these things fit what you want. If they don't fit, let it go. As opposed to trying to shame. Or as you get older, consider different lifestyles. Because maybe your lifestyle ain't conducive to one person. Because you can't devote time. I worked at night, which meant I slept during the daytime, and I got very little time in between. And as much as I like women with kids, you figure if a woman works a 9-to-5 job, when she gets off, she's gonna want to spend a couple hours with her kids. Let's just give her 6 to 8 help with their homework. Well, I got to be at work at 10 o'clock. So that means I got from 8 to 9:15 to spend some time with her. Now, when I get off work at 5 o'clock, I can go see her again. But guess what? She probably in deep sleep mode. So as much as we like each other, where we going to find time? Because I'm always working on weekends, which is when she's off. Which is also when she want to spend time with her kids. Do I want to start dating single women with no kids? Woo. Some of y'all pretty, but y'all want to have kids. It's not happening. I'm wasting your time. I'm wasting your time. As soon as you tell me your clock is ticking, I know what that means. I need to go. And this is where, as opposed to me talking about them or them talking about me, we just accept that we ain't good for each other. And that's all I want to say. Because like I said, I've been with Roy. We've been in places where there have been good looking women, but for whatever reason, they didn't appeal to us in a long-term way. They were cute to look at. They were cute to wave at. Hella cute to flirt with. But I didn't need their number. You know, anybody who know me know I love to flirt. But what I won't do is introduce myself or ask you what your name is or ask you for your phone number. We can flirt in the moment. And after that, it's time to go. I'm just playing. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Ain't about that life. Um, you know, and my friend, the white lighter, how do you handle flirting, Roy? Do you just randomly flirt or do you flirt with intent?
I don't know. I mean, I'll flirt if I notice it, because I'd be oblivious. Because like I say, usually when I'm out working, because I don't really go out to hang out. But no, I don't flirt with the intent. Look, that's actually where it'll get worse for me. If I'm attracted to somebody, I have a difficult time for it. I'm not good at it when it really means something.
So, you know, and we get through that. And you know, that was just one of the things. Like I say, I'm gonna have some deep conversations on this next year. I'm gonna have some couples in here. I'm gonna have a couple of counselors, so we can get past a lot of these misconceptions and know when it's time. What Ken Rod say? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Everything that's catchable ain't worth eating. And sometimes you just gotta, you know, you just gotta put in the work and realize that everything ain't for you. Or like second and third grade, do it, learn a lesson, and get promoted and move on. It seems like that whole departure process for a lot of us, the breakup is not easy. Because even if I meet a woman and everything is a go, we both at each other's 80-20, and this is the process that I want to have a couple of married couples on. As we start growing, we may not grow at the same rate. We may not grow in the same direction. So what do we do when 80-20 becomes 75-25, 70-30? This is what we got to learn to put in that. We got to learn to put in that extra and realize that we don't all grow together. But that love that you had, it should still be there. But again, we got to make more adjustments, which to me equals settling. You just ain't settling for the bottom, but you always settle because nobody's going to be 100%. Can you handle these adjustments? Can you handle this adjustment?
You know, I absolutely hate the word settle though, because and I guess there's really no way around it, but it's just the connotation of what the word says. But you know, we compromise. And there's some, like you said, I mean, there are things in this, they said 80-20% rule is what they use, but you know, what we talked about before is like, what are those three things that you have to have? You know, that's the way I look at it when you look at a relationship.
What are the non-negotiables?
Yeah, your non-negotiables. And, you know, once you start getting more than 5-6 non-negotiables, you know what, you may be being a little excessive, but hey, it depends on what those are to you, because some people, they need them, but you know, it's like you said, there's no perfect person. And I did a post about this, I want to say last week or a couple of weeks ago. And that's what I was saying to people. I said, you know, we want perfection from other people. We go into stuff. And when I say we, I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about primarily we as Black people, Black men and women, as it relates to relationships. Then we want the other person to be perfect. They got to have the amount of money that I want them to have. They got to have the kind of job they want them to have. They got to have the you know, she got to be built like I want her to be built. He got to be built like I need him to be built. And we want all that stuff perfect on the other person, but we still want the latitude to be able to grow and develop ourselves.
And that's why I say men, to me, it seems like men have a higher rate of doing that, and then they complain when a woman wants something. But when you want this submission, respect, following you, being your cheerleader, and then she wants you to step your game up, stop the madness, stop. I hate that. When you want that role, you gotta look at the application, make sure you fit all the requirements for that role. If you don't, step your game up. Don't get mad because she's telling you to step your game up, because she want to work with you. And I got Kirsten, I need you to come to Random Thoughts with DVP. Stop playing. One of the things that, you know, Yolanda, how you doing? That I learned with a lot of women, and Trina told me this, and I watched it. When a woman is into a man, the man ain't got to lie to her. She will lie to herself about him. They'll hang around you in your shittiness because they see something in you. They keep hoping. And they friends will tell them, hey, you know, he ain't shit, but they like you, they into you, they will put up with you a whole lot longer. Dudes, we ain't got that kind of fortitude. When we see a couple of negatives, we bouncing. And you know, Mo, who's supposed to be on the show, but I don't never know where he at. The non-negotiables have levels too, but you can have so many, because I've seen people with them, and those are the people who want to stay single. That way they always got an excuse to keep people at bay. And I ain't knocking you, but if you want to, see, I should have had a bunch of non-negotiables, but I just accepted the fact that I was emotionally unavailable. I ain't finna sit up and talk about what I ain't gonna do, because I'm just emotionally unavailable. A lot of people who got a ton of non-negotiables, you see them bouncing in and out of relationships. Just say you like having sex and damn what everybody think about you. See, we care too much about what other people think. So, yeah, you know, this is where I blame. This is something I hold most of you women accountable for, because I see some of y'all bouncing from a relationship like that. Just say you want to have sex with a dude, or actually quit posting it, have sex on the side. You ain't got to let everybody in your business. Ain't nothing wrong with liking sex. This the 21st century, the sexual revolution. Go out there and claim your shit. Don't be ashamed.
It ain't never been nothing wrong with having sex.
Nothing. And if you like having sex with multiple people, don't let nobody shame you into thinking you got to call it something else. Well, I only have sex with my boyfriend. That dude was your boyfriend for 3.5 weeks. The other dude was your boyfriend for 72 hours. Just say what it is. Or actually, don't say shit. Live your sexual life in private, unless you gonna claim it. I'm in a group with one girl who claimed what she like, and to me, she funny, because people trying to talk shit, and she tell them all the time, live your life, let me live mine. Because if it ain't bothering you, then why do you care? Why do you care? You know, somebody said, oh, you was wrong for having all the women. What was wrong about what I did? They all had choices, each and every one of them. I didn't trick nobody into doing nothing. Never have, never will. I ain't got that kind of time. My memory ain't good enough to lie to you and try to remember a lie I told you. It's just easy to tell you the truth and let you walk away if you don't want to be part of it. Because Rock can say, I done said this 1 billion times. If I don't lie to you, you don't have the right to bust my windows out. So that's why I ain't lying. Dudes, when you lie, don't forget what hey, Street Cred 101 said, when you lie to a woman about your intention, she reserves the right to bust your windows out. Period. Don't lie. Give her a choice. You'll find out. You'll see how many of them will stay. They'll love you for your honesty.
100% honesty, baby.
But why shame them because they didn't fit? You know, why come up with these crazy negotiables? I mean, these crazy non-negotiables. You know, when we started talking about it haphazardly, then we did a whole show on preferences and priorities, and that's when the lady came on. What she had, like 25 or 50 or something like that?
No, sir. She had 110. She cut the list down to 65 to get it on the B when she came onto the show.
So she had 65 non-negotiables. 65.
That was her scaled down list of 65.
And she couldn't figure out why she was single. I mean, most of us, and you know, Roy talked about it earlier, some of our non-negotiables end up being, they don't become negotiable. We just knock them straight off the list because you progress. And it's like, damn, I can't believe I said at one point no whatsoever to this. And it's crazy. It seemed like the negotiables stay around a whole lot longer. But this is one of them things, you know, I tell people, when you think you like somebody, break out a sheet of paper, write down the good and bad, then look at them. Is the bad stuff on your non-negotiable list? Is the good stuff on your non-negotiable? Because that you need to start giving them value. See, for me, a deal breaker is smoking. It's just, I'm just not gonna do it. My suits cost too much. I don't want to have to get my shit clean because of the smoke. It's a non-negotiable for me. Well, what if I smoke outside? You still smoke. I don't want you to have to sneak out and do it. It don't work for me. My other non-negotiable, I don't care how none of y'all feel. I ain't dating trans. I ain't that open-minded. I don't knock nobody for what they do. It just can't happen with me. You know, the secret reason why I like women with kids, I know a little bit about them already. These are non-negotiables for me. You know, me and Roy we had to talk about the sapiosexual. I would love to say I'm one, but I'm lying because my sapiosexual has got to be a woman. Just because you got a good mind, it's cute. I love talking to you, but we're not finna have no kind of intimate relationship.
See, that's how you know we living in Atlanta, boy. You have to define that kind of stuff because, yes, that's my sapiosexual as well.
But Roy,
I got to be able to have a conversation with the woman and be engaged with her after that.
But It ain't even got nothing to do with Atlanta. Remember that it's 5 states where you can change the gender on your birth certificate. Georgia ain't one of them. So clearly there's a problem other places with people changing their sex on their birth certificate. See,
Really?
people love to say Atlanta, but that ain't legal in Atlanta. But I know Virginia's one, but yeah, it's 5 states now where you can go back and change the gender on your birth certificate.
Wow.
So as much as y'all want to talk trash about the A, it's going on and it's deep in some other places. It's deep, but that's a whole nother show. I ain't trying to get in trouble with the alphabet people. And you know, it's insane how we go through this. Ooh. And just stop. All right. But like I said, we're gonna do some super in-depth shows next year. Because I just want, I want to keep it light and just have a little fun. And I'm way long not planning to be. Another something I want to say is for the holidays, because I'm actually gonna get off. For the holidays, ladies, if you out shopping, I know a lot of y'all love Amazon and eBay and whoever else deliver, and that's great. But if you have to go out and shop, fellas, it's for you too. Ladies, when you go to the mall, when you're leaving, I can't teach you to be attentive. It's just not who you are for a lot of y'all, and I'm okay with that. Fellas, let her talk to you while she's leaving the mall until she gets in her car and she's safe on the road. Because if something happens, at least then you can track her or know at least where she was. Ladies, call somebody when you walking from out the mall till you get to your car. If y'all want to talk in the car, that's fine, but talk during that walk in the parking lot. There's too many things still happening. Fellas, be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to this. Give her the 3 to 10 minutes it's gonna take for her to get to the mall to the car. And this is just one of them things that around the holiday season, it just needs to be built in. We love to say call me when you get home, and that's cute too. But that walk from the mall exit to the car, that's dangerous for a lot of people, especially women. You got your bags full, you really ain't paying attention. And I could sit here and try to teach you how to pay attention. It's a waste of my time because you're only going to do what you do naturally. It's too late to try to teach you a different habit. Talking on the phone ain't a different habit. And even if, I'm going to use Roy again because he's here. Even if Roy is busy, he can put a headset in or his earpiece in and listen to you while you talk and walk. And once you get in the car, you thank him and tell him, you'll page him, text him, whatever when you get home. But ladies, I need for y'all to make that a more conscious habit. Anytime you walk someone, just have somebody to talk to, whether it's a guy, whether it's a girlfriend. That way somebody will know where you are. I mean, I can tell you about all these little safety apps and Glimpse and how to have people follow you. It's probably a little too much right now. But I want you to make it, I need for you to make it to your car safely. Normally, once you get to your car, you're good. All right? If y'all still want to talk, fine. I don't have one with me, but most of y'all still got car keys. Safety purposes, I want you to put them keys between your fingers. If something happens while you out there, scrape them keys. Ladies, y'all ain't got no problems with scratching nothing. Fellas, some of y'all swing like girls. Put the keys between your put the keys between your fingers. Anything get in your way, swing the keys. Scrape them up. Them scrapes hurt. They way more effective than punches. But I need for y'all to start being safe. It's the end of the year. I'm gonna keep pushing the same thing about insurance. You need life insurance, you need renter's insurance, and if you drive, you need car insurance. Car insurance is probably the most expensive. Life insurance and renter's insurance, according to the guest that we had on the show last time, you can get you can get a $20,000 policy. I know all y'all want to get $1 million, but whatever, get something. You can get a $20,000 policy for less than $15 a month.
And most people can pay that off at one time and not have to worry about trying to do it monthly.
Right. And renter's insurance in a lot of places, unless you got a whole bunch of stuff, renter's insurance, 9 times out of 10, it means, 10 times out of 10, it means you're renting. You shouldn't have a whole lot, but if you do, a lot of places you can get renter's insurance for less than $10 a month. So, if you got a computer, you got guns, which all y'all swear y'all got, you need renter's insurance. Work on getting those two things. Those are crucial. It's one of the reasons why we don't come up, because if we lose them, we can't replace them. Then we got to start from scratch. The insurance is one of the things you hate until you need it. But go on and put that savings out there. I am going to post some things about saving money. There's some charts about how you can save $10,000 next year, and I think the other one is $1,500, and it's really easy. It's really easy. One of them is, the easiest one is you save for every week, whatever week of the year it is, you put that much money in the savings, and I want to say you end up with like $1,300 or something. Who can't use $1,300 at the end of the year? But week 1, you put in $1. Week 2, you put in $2. Week 3, you put in $3. I mean, in December, that's when you're going to put in the bulk of your money, because you're going to put in what, 48, 49, 50, 51, $52. You know, but it'll help you start saving, and you can see the progression. But I'm going to put those charts up. What else did I want to talk about? Like I said, I don't want to do no super deep show, because I want y'all to enjoy the holidays. I'm gonna say this for the next 3 weeks. For all y'all who enjoyed that movie that y'all know I didn't care for, that Marvel flick. That Marvel flick. For all you Wakandans, for all y'all that went to the Million Man March, for all y'all who preaching pro-black this, wokeness, conscious, whatever, look into Kwanzaa. Look into Kwanzaa. Look into the principle. Yes, sir.
Wait, you didn't like Black Panther?
I hated it.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother discussion. I didn't even know that.
How'd you miss that? Rod, I talked about that.
You were on the other network at that point, so I didn't.
I done talked about it since I've been back. Oh, but
I missed that one.
Yeah,
that must have been them shows that somebody else was producing.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh my God, man, you don't even want to get me started on that. But
yeah, we gonna definitely have to do a show on that one.
If you in all that, look into Kwanzaa. You know, black people always talking about we need something for us. Look into Kwanzaa, look at the principles. Look how inexpensive it is and what it does to bring us together. I ain't knocking nobody who celebrate no other holiday. Do what you do. But it's like when I went out and got these chickens. I can't keep preaching living off the land if I ain't starting to do my process. I can't keep preaching it if Trina ain't growing vegetables that we can eat. If you ain't working on being self-sufficient, you can't keep saying what they ain't letting us do. You can celebrate Kwanzaa on your own. And, you know, we all got the Black Power this and the Million Man March that. And when I reach out to people who saw the movie, who loved the movie, and everybody was wearing dashikis, I don't see dashikis no more. But I see y'all still in these streets. But I don't see dashikis no more. What happened? What happened to make you lose that black love? What happened to make you lose that togetherness? How many people you seen with dashikis in the last 6 to 12 months? Because y'all still at these parties. You seen a bunch of people wearing these dashikis anymore?
Not really.
And so what happened? You know, it's like, you know, I ran across some brothers who went to the Million Man March, and I asked them, what are you doing? Other than, you know, talking about you went. What have you done? What have you done to help our people? Other than say, oh man, I was there. And what'd you do? What'd you do? That's been what? That's been over 20 years ago. So you went just to get a t-shirt and you ain't done shit. Y'all went and saw that movie, gave them all your money. And so now when it come time to do something, we all in a deliberate indifference portion. And for the holidays, for those y'all who woke, conscious, whatever it is, I would implore you to do one thing for the next 22 plus days. When you go shopping, at least one day, deliberately with intent, buy black, deliberately and with total intent. I ain't telling you to buy nothing that's overpriced or buy no shitty product now, but buy from somebody who's black, not a black manager, not a black cashier. Buy from a deliberately black business. Whether it's groceries, whether it's gas, whether it's a book, whether you rent out ad space from Roy, whether you buy something for Trina. Hell, we know a bunch of people who do gourmet food, whether they cook, bake, whatever. There's a bunch of people. I'm gonna probably do a post about it. I'm gonna do a post with black businesses. My post is gonna be a little bit different because once you post your thing, you don't have to share. I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm only gonna leave yours up if you share." Post. I want to promote. I want to promote this. If you know of a great black business, share it. Share it. Tell us something about it. What do you think makes it great? Don't tell us because it's your cousin. Tell us about the customer service. Because guess what? If you get shit of customer service, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out. We did a show last week about customer service. Don't nobody owe you nothing. It's my money. I don't owe you nothing. I want to buy black, but like I said with my friend who owned a bookstore, I can't pay $28 for a $6 book. I can't do it. That was your business mistake. But yeah, I can't do it. Seeing you still got your private investigator business. If not, she got poetry books. Is your book on Amazon, Sam? Or Audible? Mo got a book. You can, like I say, I ain't telling you gotta spend $1 million. I'm just saying deliberately buy black, buy something. You know, okay, yeah. I forgot. They do have a Black Wall Street shops in Lithonia now. I'm gonna go check them out. But seeing what's the name of your book? Is it on Audible or Amazon? You can deliberately buy black and then promote them. Promote them. Promote them like you promote Kanye. Promote them like you promote Jordans. Promote them like you promote everybody else that don't do shit for blacks. Promote them the same. You got anything for me, Roy?
Man, y'all can just stay in tune, start getting in. We're actually going to be getting ready to do a full marketing push because we're going to have some new stuff popping off coming into the new year, but we'll be talking about it more since we're going to be doing something every week. So I'll release a little bit more information as we continue to move forward towards 2022, but we will be looking for folks' support and, it'll be opportunities in multiple ways, either just financially if they want to support and get engaged, you got events, all that kind of stuff that'll be popping up.
So it's there. And that's all, just like I said, I ain't gonna never tell you everything you need to be black. But do something to support us. Something. And then promote that. Share it. Share what you got. Tell them about the customer service. Tell them the cashier that you had fun with, who made your experience, whatever. Just do it. And if you got to go out, say it again.
I said, excuse me, I yawned.
You got the disposable income to go out. Go ahead and leave a nice tip for them, provided they do you good service. Don't flex. Don't be ordering bottles and shit and then leave no $2 tip. All right, Sam just posted her book, Poetically Speaking, Truth, Love, Lies, and Disappointment, and it's on Amazon. Mo probably left, and damn, I ain't even got his book down here that I'm reading now. But I'll post it too. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We got 22 days to deliberately, with intent, buy black. And remember, pro-black don't mean anti-white. It just means pro-black. All right. We're gonna have stuff. We're gonna start giving y'all some teasers. I got some things I'm gonna give away starting next week. So we're gonna try to end the year on a bang. I'm just gonna do slower. The shows won't be as long because I know y'all are doing stuff. Oh, it's okay. Seeing, we'll make sure we prepare next time. All right, so y'all know what it is. I didn't even drink because I got something else I got to take care of. So next time, y'all know what it is I'm drinking water, trying to be a little healthy. Y'all know what it is, right? Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. And we out.